Today we're going to be adding used coffee grounds so that we can get some exfoliation in our donut soaps. And with this mold, I'm going to be making 3 donuts, which means I'm going to be gluing 2 pieces together like I did in my last video. The film is going to look a little weird here because my camera light malfunctioned. I'm sorry about that. So my melt and pour base did brown when I added the coffee like I thought it would. I did add a little bit of mica to it just to make it a little bit more donut-like. We're going to be filling the cavities just a skosh short so that I can pour melt and pour in the center and glue the 2 pieces together. The scent that I chose for this project is Honey Love Dust from Nature's Garden. It smells like cocoa butter and dark chocolate, and it is actually one of the most decadent and delicious things I have ever smelled, and it makes me sad that I cannot eat it. It is amazing. Here's a better shot of the color of the soap. We're going to let these set and come back when they're nice and hard so that I can put the 2 pieces together. While we're waiting, I do want to remind everyone that these videos are just for fun. I don't expect you to be perfect at this. I'm rarely perfect at anything that I do, and I've been doing this for a really long time. So if you mess up, that's okay. I mess up a lot, and that's fine. So don't worry if things go wrong. You can always put it back in the melty jar and start over again. Just be careful with your temperatures. So the soap has hardened and cooled, and I'm going to take 1/2 of the soaps out. These will be the top portion of our soaps, and I'll be gluing them to the other part, which will be the bottom parts of our soaps. You can see the coffee that is interspersed inside of the soap. The coffee that I used for this is a finer ground, but you can always use a thicker ground of coffee if you prefer. Alright guys, it's about to get messy. So here you see me demonstrating what I'm about to do. So I'm basically just going to be pouring my leftover melt and pour soap in between the 2 layers. This is definitely about to have some over pour here, so don't get shocked. It's going to be a little tiny bit hotter than what you want to pour a good soap at, just to make sure that both halves adhere to each other, and make sure that you spray both halves with a good amount of alcohol beforehand just to clean it up. So you can actually see the steam coming off the soap as it's hitting the camera. And there we go. There goes the first one. Don't be afraid to remelt your glue if you need to, if it starts chunking up. It needs to be as fluid as possible to get those 2 halves stuck together. And now we just walk away. Go sit down, go drink some water, take a nap, Leave them alone until they are completely done melding. If you try to take them out of the mold before they are done, they will fall apart, and you don't want that. And you'll know you've done a good job if you can pop them right out of the mold and they don't even resist. Now don't worry about the excess soap around the sides. You can actually just very gently remove that with a sharp knife. Do it very carefully because you don't want it to damage the soap itself. And that excess soap can go back into the melty jar and you can melt it again. Be careful with your temperatures, you don't want to burn it. And you can fill the mold again and make another soap if you want, or you can use that in another project. The knife I'm using here is an older cheese knife that I have. It's pretty dull, but it has no problem cutting this soap at all. It just goes right through it without any issue. You don't have to apply that much pressure. It's not difficult at all when it's just a very thin piece of soap like this. So don't worry about it. Don't, be anxious about it. And try to use something dull. You could even use a plastic knife if you prefer. If you're working with kids, if you're doing a project with your family. It doesn't have to be a metal knife. And you could even just use your fingers if you prefer. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm used to doing this, so this is what I do. And here we have the finished product. They look pretty convincing, except for the centers, obviously. You can dip them in colored soap and give them a glaze. Put sprinkles on them. Put little pieces of shredded soap on top. Do whatever you like. This is your project. I'm just showing you how to do it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!